It is Women's History Month, and something that we do every March. And so it's a time to highlight the achievements of women throughout history. You can just look around the room today, though, and see how far we have actually come. Joining me today are some of my fellow female colleagues on the Albany County Legislature, all who have their own story of success and how they got to where they are today. But all week we have been recognizing those accomplishments. But now it's time to recognize others. We have so many women who work right here in Albany County. And this year, we wanted to recognize the work that they do as well.
I could spend all the time in the world talking about the women in the legislature and really just watching how everything's formulated the last couple of years with the Black Caucus, the Women's Caucus, really issues that need to be addressed. And if you look at women in general, in New York State, women only make 89 cents to every dollar a male makes. Think about that. And that's in New York State, but on a national level, it's 80 cents. I mean, come on, it's time we get there. And you know, it's been an honor to recognize women. We started 2 weeks ago with working with Megan Baker and the lady from Capcom and the lady from the Business Review, and really just discussing how much how far women have come in the workforce, but how much more needs to be done. And I remember when I was taking over, and I used to watch Bill Clay, and I wish he was here, and he'd get on the floor of the legislature. And one of the things I really enjoyed when I was a legislator, very few things I enjoyed as a legislator, but one of the things was we had the honor of really, when the county executive selected a commissioner, you got to vote on it and vet them and make sure that they're the right person. And the good thing about that is you really got to know the commissioner before they got into the position. But Bill Clay would get up on the floor, and he'd say, someday, I hope I can just vote for someone of color or someone, other than the people we've been appointing. And he goes, they're all great appointments. And he's had nothing bad to say about the appointments. And I took that to heart when I became county executive. And I said, we represent 320,000 people. We need to have a workforce that reflects that. And I take pride that I appointed more women to commissioners and deputy commissioners than in the history of Albany County. Someone once said to me, you're very successful, great things are going on in the county. And I said, no. I said, I learned one thing quickly, kid from the South End. I put smarter people in the room than me. And having the talented workforce that we have from our commissioners and everyone in my office, it's a reflection of me, but it's great that the achievements you have all done in your roles as commissioners and deputy commissioners and really make the difference in people's lives, because you're on the front lines. You're the ones in the trenches that see what's going on day in, day out. You're the ones that can make a difference. And I can't thank you enough for the compassion, for the cohesiveness, the resilience that you've had over the years, half to dealing with not the same salaries as males, being always discriminated, being looked at twice because it was a woman making the decision, all the things you put up with. So, and to all the women trailblazers before you that opened up the opportunities for you to have this great opportunity, we have to thank them. And I know I'm going to pick on Lucy and Wanda and them again because they really did set the stage in the legislature. And and I've watched Lucy now. I don't even want to date myself, over 20 years. And really,
doing
Lucy.
Jobs I used to do.
Yes.
President of the New York State Association of Counties.
Yes, I followed your lead.
That's right.
To watch what she's done and continues to do, and the passion that they all have, and continue to have, and say, hey, we can make a difference. You can make a difference. And you're the inspiration, not just for the next upcoming females, but for males too. I was on Channel 10 News this morning, and they basically asked, well, what are they, he goes, well, why, what are they doing that's different? I said, listen, not to pick on us males, sometimes we get that tunnel vision. And I said, females tend to understand everything going on in the office and can hear every point of view, and sometimes make everyone feel that, regardless, they have a say. And I go, and some, let's face it, I go, they can get us to go from A to B to Z, and which is awesome. So I want to say I continue to learn from all of you, continue to learn from the ladies behind me, and thank you for everything that you do for Albany County. I cannot thank you enough, and I appreciate working with you, and look forward to giving you these props. So, there you go.
Before I go any further, I know Danny complimented me on the great introduction that I gave him. But I would like to say this, as demonstrated here today, and you can see all of these women, Danny has done an excellent job in trying to move women forward. We're working on something now, and the county is working on something right now to ensure that women are being treated just the same as men. We already know that we make less money than they do. But this is an effort that the county has undertaken that I think we should give him a nice.
Before we finish too, I should have said this. I talked to Andrew Joyce last night. He's serving his country right now, Fort Drum. He wished he could be here. So I want to say a few nice words, and Ashley asked me to say a few words on his behalf. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So now, recognizing the achievements of women in all facets of life has a huge impact on the development of self-respect and on new opportunities for women today. But the impact of women's history might seem abstract to some and less pressing than the immediate struggles of working women today. But to ignore the vital role that women's dreams and accomplishments play in our own lives would be a great mistake. When I think today about my new shero for the day is Nancy Pelosi. When I found out, how long and how she's been in this race and trying to do things as far as politics is concerned, and she's 78 years old, 78. We know that in World War II, when the men went off to war, it was the women that had to step up to the plate and take over. And there was nothing that they could not do because they were the ones back here doing the ammunition and everything else that men had been doing prior to them, their leaving. So as we recognize not only the women of Albany County today, we realize that we have the first female mayor in the city of Albany. There's Paula Mahan, and who is the mayor of Colony, Town Supervisor. I knew I said that wrong. But the point that I am trying to make is that women are moving ahead. Women are taking the lead. And it is not that women want to take over, because those of us who are believers know that supposedly men came first, and then the woman came after he did. But she is a part of that. So you can't have a man without a woman, can't have a woman without a man, whichever way you want to go, the chicken or the egg, it doesn't matter. So right now we're going to recognize that these women who are in more leadership roles in Albany County government than ever before. So today, for the first time, we are bringing women together who serve in leadership across Albany County, from elected office to managing various departments.
I do want to say, Deb, on behalf of Andrew Joyce and the legislature, congratulations on everything you're doing, and can better continue doing.
Now, I'll say a few words about Deb. Albany County Department for Aging is one of the 59 area agencies on aging in New York State and part of the National Aging Network, which supports and implements comprehensive in-home and community-based services with special focus on those with the greatest social and economic needs. Our programs and services are made possible through funding from Albany County, the New York State Office for Aging, U.S., Administration on Aging participate, contributions, and volunteers who generously donate their time. Deb, this award goes to you. It's a nice proclamation honoring Deb Bertano. I could say a few other words about Deb because I know her so well, but I won't.
We have a lot more to go.
Okay.
First, I'd like to thank the county executive, who has always
That's what
been,
you gotta say, you can leave that.
who has always been a wonderful support to our senior community, and I am very, very grateful. Thank you, and I'm grateful to the legislature for this honor today. I don't know what I thought I was coming to, but I wasn't expecting this. So thank you very much. I must be the most surprised person in the room.
The next person, Sherry Brooks. There's. Come on up, so I can stand on the other side of Norman, just in case I say something. I know you want to swing it at me.
Come on down, Sherry.
Come on. I got to tell you, Sherry, it was I've known Sherry a long time, and she lived off Elizabeth Street on Delaware Ave.
Alexander Street.
Huh?
Alexander Street.
Alexander
Close to
Street,
that.
Delaware. It's all right there. So, but her.
South End. Sean's talking, not me.
So, her compassion, though, just for the residents, to really care for people in a ton of cases that she did for free, pro bono, says a lot about your character and what you've been doing. How long has it been now? 5 years? 6 years?
No, 7.
That's where I got the gray hair. So, 7 years ago, when I got to appoint her, it's great watching us both grow over the years, Sherry, and I got to say it's been an honor, so thank you.
No, thank you.
Sherry Brooks, alternative public defender. She provides high-quality and caring legal representation to Indian persons charged with a crime where the public defender is unable to represent due to conflict of interest or unavailability in the court proceedings. Albany County Department, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Sherry, and this proclamation goes to you. And I've known you for so many years, and you've always been such a great person.
Well, I just want to say thank you to the legislature. This is very humbling. And I have to say thank you to Dan, who's not only my boss, but a friend. I was the first Black woman to head a department in Albany County, and that was completely because of you. So thank you.
Gail Gohagan. You're gonna have to put your phone down. So, oh, it's Sherry's phone?
You want to be in the phone?
She wanted you on the phone? You know what? When I got to know Gail, you're a hard person to read. I'm going to be honest with you at times, but her compassion for what she does speaks volumes. And even when I agree to disagree with you at times, I have to tell you, I know your heart's in the right direction. I know you believe in the work that you're doing, and I cannot thank you enough on behalf of the residents of Albany County and the many people that have received services from your department. So,
Thank you.
So, Deb, you're not the only one who wasn't quite sure what to expect. So, really do want to say thank you to the legislature and to County Exec McCoy for recognizing all of the honorees today. It really just underscores, and certainly I think it's not too much to speak on behalf of everyone, just to know that there is value in what we do and an appreciation for that. So thank you. And to echo what Sherry said, certainly want to say thank you to Mr. McCoy for extending the opportunity to be able to be the commissioner for the Department for Children, Youth, and Families. Started out as a caseworker, and so to be in this role and position was not necessarily something that I anticipated, but really there is a commitment for the work that we do. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Gail. Gail Cohagan Pratt. I got to know Gail, and I think you've worked about 3 different positions on it. I think I confirmed you more than any commissioner for the county. I mean, whether it was youth, social services, Office of Children and Family Services, and she also worked with the youth at the Albany County Correctional Facility at the detention center. But Gail, it's been a privilege. I've never seen so much professionalism packed in one female until I met Gail. She comes ready to do the job, and she knows her work. She does her homework. She presents well and makes us very proud. Wherever, what stage she's on, you're going to be proud to hear from Gail Cohagen Pratt. And I'm so honored being the commissioner, working with Gail, and I just couldn't believe it. She's just such a wonderful person to work with. And Dan, Albany County was so good to pick Gail Cohagen Pratt. She's also worked for the Lieutenant Governor of the state of New York, so we got a prize when we got Gail. So I'm not going to go long because Dan is looking at me to speed it up anyway. So Gail, I present this proclamation to you on your special day of being honored in Albany County government. Here you go, Gail. Thank you.
It's been a great partnership with the county in Cornell, I think since 1960, if I stand correct, 1917 maybe, somewhere in there. We started, huh? Was it 16? That we started working together, and the partnership's only blossomed and grew under your leadership. So I can't thank you enough, from the master gardeners, which I don't know what they did at Lawson's Lake, they messed up, but we gotta get them back out there. But to everything else that they do throughout the county, what you teach, I can't thank you enough. So thank you for your leadership, thank you for your partnership, and everything else that you do. Gil, it was before Gil Ether even. Well, maybe not.
You got it? Okay, thank you. Okay, Lisa Goleski, how you say, Legeski? Executive Director of Cornell Cooperative Extension. I worked with you when you were down at 230 Green Street in the South Bend, and with the Master Gardeners Program, and now I'm working with her at her job in Voorheesville. Lisa, it has been a real honor working with you over the years, and I always ask the thing about algae blooms. Sorry, I didn't mean to mention that name, algae blooms in Lawson's Lake, but that's a big thing with me. But on this Women's History Month, you have been a very good person from the hill towns who've worked in urban areas and the hill towns and worked with the youth, 4-H, and every kind of program. Come a little closer so we can get a picture with you, okay? But this impact you've done on this whole scheme of things, Albany County government is so large. We deal with so many aspects of every kind of program you can think of. And Danny has wrapped them all around and made it so special to put it together where a woman could do the job as well as a man. And Lisa, you rise above them all. I gotta say that. And I'll say congratulations, and we hope that you stick around with us many, many years, okay? Thank you very much. On behalf of the legislature.
Appreciate it. I just really want to say, though, what really does work is the partnership, and that's why it's so strong. It's just not only about one person, it's what we all do together to help the residents of Albany County, and that's really what makes our job so wonderful. So thank you.
My buddy, Karen Ziegler. Hugh is one of the most other passionate persons I ever met in my life, who fights for victims' rights, and rightfully so. You have a tough job. From when I was in the legislature and we refunded when Albany Med stopped the rape kits, and you came down, and that was one of my first impressions of you. And I think we were just all afraid of you initially, and that's why we gave up the money pretty quick. Sean, I remember, Lucy. There was no question. We're like, okay, I don't know what she's doing, but we're going to give it to her because she just seems like she's on a mission. And that was my first impression. Second impression was I didn't realize you were friends with my sister, and you started going to her to beat me up. So let's go on the record and stop that. Oh, yeah, let's stop that. But it's been great watching you, and the belief in passion you put into me for victims' rights, and not just for females. I mean, everyone else, it's females. It's not. There's more males, domestic violence, and sexual assaults than people talk about, because for some reason there's that barrier they don't want to talk about. And and you open that up, and you really change the community. So it's been fun watching, I should say, myself grow to your beliefs, because you've always been there. So thank you for everything that you did.
Come on up, Karen. Don't go far. The Albany County Crime Victim and Sexual Assault Violence Center, as we know, used to be called Rape Crisis when we first started, right? Provides a comprehensive range of services to emotionally and physically injured crime victims in Albany County. Their services are available to anyone of any age who has experienced a sexual assault or other interpersonal crime at any time in their life, or who has been affected by someone else's assault. This department really started out very small, and particularly the last 13 years. Karen was 13 years with the Sexual Assault Center. 13 years before that, she was with mental health. And I've known her all that time with my work with the Colony Police Department that I retired from recently. She has blossomed under there, just like the county executive said. It used to be thought it was just children that we dealt with, or just women, and it's expanded over the years to include all sorts of crimes of violence against women and men, against children, against the elderly. Karen works with various agencies to that purpose, to protect victims and their rights. I've been honored over the years to work with her personally on cases and to sit on different committees and to be very proud of the SANE program that we all worked on together. She has taken this department to new heights. And I'm so proud that you're with us today and you're getting this award. And I'm proud to have worked with you over the years.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karen. Oh, she's got that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
I just want to say thank you. This job is an incredible gift. To be able to do what I do every day, I wouldn't say I do it for free, but it is a pleasure, it is an honor. And I want to thank the Albany County Legislature. I want to thank Dan for his belief in me. You are the most amazing teammates and partners I could have, and you make the difference. You make it all come together, so thank you.
The more we got to know each other over the years, I see your passion for what you do day in and day out. Again, and you know, it seems like the same, very passionate, very believe in your work, the foundation's there, and you know what, whether we're getting it or not, you drive us in that direction. And I want to thank you for all the work that you do on behalf of the county, especially at the lake and everywhere else, for really helping us out. So again, I want to say thank you for everything that you do, and it's been fun working with you these last 8 years, and you know, and continue to work with you in the future.
Come on up, Laura. So Laura, your title is Senior Natural Resource Planner, right? That's correct, right? And the department studies the planning, economic development, and conservation of needs of Albany County to formulate and carry out plans and recommendations which promote sound and coordinated planning of the entire county, to advise the county executive, the county legislature, and the county planning board in such matters. And you certainly do it with great pride. We have great pride in you and your work that you do. You've been a terrific asset to the department. And this is another department that has grown over the years. We're doing so much more with so little time. But thank you very much, and congratulations.
Just want to thank you so much for the recognition. I know my department's not as visible as some of the others, and not always the most popular with environmental regulatory things, but thank you so
Very
much for the
important, though,
recognition and
those
for the
environment.
job with the programs that I love.
You do a great job, and the accreditation you're trying to bring to the health department, the first of its kind in New York State, to Albany County, says a lot about your dedication, not just to the workforce, but to the people in Albany County and really in the Capital District. And what you have been doing to transform the health department, it's been kind of fun watching everything going on. And Liza, it's been really great getting to know you over these last couple of years too. And though we agree to disagree on some issues, but you know, listen, that's why you're a doctor and I'm a politician. So I do want to say thank you again for everything that you do for everybody.
The County Department of Health strives to protect and promote the health of individuals, families, and communities. The department works with many other community partners to offer a variety of programs and services to achieve our mission and to accomplish the following: prevent communicable and chronic diseases, injuries, and disabilities, protect against environmental hazards that threaten health and safety, promote the health and wellness of our citizens and our communities, and prepare for and respond to public health emergencies. I heard something on WAMC yesterday about how fine the county is, and I know that you have a lot to do with that, so thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the legislature and to County Executive McCoy for this wonderful honor and also for the opportunity to be able to serve the residents of Albany County. As has been said up here, we have a great workforce at the county. Our workforce at the county health department, our workforce is predominantly female, and I'm particularly proud of that as well. We work well when we work together, and I'm very happy to work with the ladies in the front row regularly. And I want to say especially thank you to Lucy McKnight, who serves on our Board of Health. I'm very lucky to be able to do something that I enjoy. I'm happy to come to work every single day, and I'm happy for this opportunity. Thank you.
Jen, it was nice getting to know you as a deputy and watching you go into the commissioner role and doing a great job. And one of the things I did try to do is find people that were already working in that office and promote within. Again, to promote within, to give people an opportunity, knowing that if they work hard enough and they stand out, they're going to get the big jobs. And it's not just going to come in and appoint people from the outside, and they're never going to have the opportunity to run a department. It was great introducing your boys to McDonald's. I think I got yelled at more than they did. They enjoyed it and lied to me, didn't tell me. But you know what? It is a pleasure, not every day, but almost every day, working with you and interacting with you. So, Jen, thank you for everything.
Well, as many of you know, the Department of Human Resources comprises 3 divisions: the Personnel Services, Affirmative Action, and Employee Relations. The Division of Personnel Services administers payroll, employee benefits, workers' comp, health and safety, retirement, staff development, and training functions. The Division of Affirmative Action is responsible for directing the provisions of all federal, state, and local employment discrimination laws and statutes. Really important work. The Division of Employee Relations is responsible for negotiations and administration of all collective bargaining agreements, as well as union, non-union, employee grievances, and arbitration cases. That is such a load of work. I can't believe you do that, and I thank you.
Thank you, County Executive and the members of the legislature. I appreciate this recognition. And to my staff in HR, I appreciate them every day. Thank you.
You know, when I was looking for a DPW commissioner, and again, I do like to promote within, and I just thought it was a great time to change the climate over DPW and the philosophy, and not that they were doing anything wrong, but it was time to just change it up because everyone sees DPW or DGS as a typically male environment, male-dominant workforce. And when we came across your resume and you applied, it was like this was a no-brainer. We interviewed a ton of people, but it always came back to you with your experience and your leadership capability. And I can't thank you enough for everything that you're doing out there. And I honestly, you know, thought there would be some transition problems with the workforce, and they have been great out there. You know, to all the changes we made to DPW and continue to make. But Lisa, thank you for your leadership and everything that you do.
Well, as you also know, the DPW is dedicated to providing construction and maintenance services for all our county roadways, certain state highways, and county-owned parks and rec areas, including repair and construction of 594 lane miles of county highways, 78 bridges, and thousands of culverts, maintenance of thousands of road signs and road markings, snow plowing and de-icing on all county roads and on 136 miles of state highways during the winter, and maintenance of 3 county-owned recreation areas. Again, we cannot thank you for your attention to detail and ability to jump in and take over, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of County Executive McCoy, who couldn't be here today, thank you for your leadership.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the legislature, and thank you, County Executive, for giving me this opportunity. I'm so enjoying my job. It's a challenge, I take pride in the work that the people do at the department. They have done a great job keeping the roads clean and safe and pushing our projects forward. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and that's it.
You have been a trailblazer, not just here in Albany County, but across the state. You've been recognized from NISAC. You've been recognized by many organizations. We've had other counties, and they're like, hey, that Karen's doing a great job, and, can we steal her? And I'm like, I got to figure out who this Karen Storm is. No, I'm kidding. And it's, just the stuff you have done and set the example and the bar high. So I feel sorry for whoever you retire and takes over. It's going to be a difficult position to fill. Because you have done such a great job. And in giving your speeches at NISAC and talking to other counties on how to properly do procedures and everything else, thank you. And it does keep us out of trouble, so I thank you for that. So under your watchful eye, things always end up going the right way. So again, Karen, thank you for your leadership.
Karen Storms, the head of the Division of Purchasing. Purchasing is responsible for initiating and maintaining effective and professional relationships with vendors and various county department employees. The service is an exclusive channel through which all requests for county purchases and price quotations are handled. Congratulations, Karen.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the legislature and county executive and prior county executives for all of the support that I've received over the years and the support that my department has received. It's only because of the support that I've received from these people that I've been able to achieve what I've achieved, and thank you.
Maggie Alley, very tough decision when I had to pick you. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I picked the gentleman over my left shoulder to be my deputy, and I had a certain mayor from Green Island, we won't mention her name, McNulty, what's her last name? No, I'm not going to. First female mayor, too. Ellen called me up, and boy, was I a little scared after that phone call was over with. I thought, So she said, "You will not take anyone from Green Island, Mr. McCoy, without." And I'm like, "Okay, mayor, well, keep the note." So when I saw your resume, I go, "I'm not even interviewing this woman." I go, "Green Island? No way." And the mayor called up for you and said, "What a great job you do." And though she didn't want to lose you, she saw the opportunity for you to head up this department and be the first female ever to head up this department for Albany County, and could not talk enough. And I'm like, "Oh, wow." I'm like, "Do you remember what you said to me about Sean? I'm just wondering, but it was, it was really nice what she had to say about you." And I know your appointment's coming up again, right? I'm not paying attention. Are you paying attention? When is it?
September.
Oh, September. So you better say some nice things when you get up here about me. So, and to the legislature, because they got to approve it. So you might want to say, but I do want to say, it's been great watching you, and I not only thank you what you do in the department, but you do so much more on the outside and in the community, not just in Green Island, but around. So thank you.
I first of all want to thank my colleagues who just asked if I would say a few words about Maggie, and I've known her since she was born. She's worked for the Ward family since she was 12 years old, when she came to us with her Red Cross babysitting card and asked if she could babysit our children. And she did that for a number of years. When she was in college, she worked for the Albany County Legislature as an intern. We gave her a minor project, and it was redistricting, which we ended up in federal court, and she spent a lot of time. She got an eye-opener that time. We brought her back as my chief of staff a couple of years ago in the legislature, and in the meantime, she was working in Green Island. She became the first woman assessor in Green Island. And I just learned something the other day. I was talking to the Department of State, and they told me, and it hasn't been verified, but they believe that she's the only certified senior code enforcement officer in New York State, licensed by the state. And I was very happy, even though she was a big loss for us in Green Island, I was very happy that Dan thought enough of her to appoint her to the Commissioner of Director of Real Property Tax Services, because I know she's very uniquely qualified for the position. And also, Dan mentioned her outside activities. In her spare time, she chairs the Green Island Senior Citizens. She heads up the Adopt a Family program. She's been doing both Green Island and the county for years. And I know this year, Paul Miller kept her busy with another Adopt a Family program just on the side. And she also heads up the Green Island Food Pantry. So she's been great in the community. She's been great for the county and the village of Green Island. And Maggie, we thank you for everything you do. And we're Bruce Higley. I promise your mother I'll get a good picture of you presenting this, because she couldn't be here today. So. How we doing, Bruce? Good, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
County Executive.
Thank you very much. Thank you. One doesn't typically wake up and say they want to be an assessor. It's not really an exciting, profession, but it does come with a lot of challenges, and that's what I do appreciate. And I do appreciate the journey. And although I've only been here 8 months or so, I'm really looking forward to the future and the future of our the real property department. So I really do appreciate the confidence you have in me to do that, and I'm looking forward to the future with you, all of you. Working with, 6 years in September.
Michelle's another one that we got from the outside, but she had such great credentials. And the department she took over is our biggest department in Albany County. And she has a great team with her, all 2 deputies helping her out every day, day in, day out. I'm not gonna say nice things because she's not here. Is this recorded for later? Michelle, you're doing a hell of a job. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Keep up the good work. But no, seriously, she does. And it's hard. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of issues at our DSS department, a lot of unfunded mandates, a lot of problems with the federal government and the state right now with the way they're changing things, and yet it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we're there to help people. We're there to make sure they get shelter and they get the heat on and they get the food that they need to put on the tables, not just for themselves, but for their families. And there's a lot of compassion that goes into that. So thank you both so much.
Thank you. So I know Michelle's disappointed she couldn't be here today. She's very, very appreciative of the honor from both the legislature and from the county executive's office. And I know that she's really honored to have the opportunity to lead our department and look to each and every one of you as partners as she moves forward to serve the population that we serve each and every day. So thank you very much.
So just on behalf of Andrew Joyce, the chair, who was not able to be here today, and all that stand here in recognition of all of these great women and all those that you represent and all those that you serve, we just want to give you a round of applause. I can remember that there was a time when I worked in retirement, and I had all my children while I was working for retirement. And at one point, as I was moving up, I was called into an interview. This is something that cannot happen today. And the director who was interviewing, he asked me a question. And his question was, who was going to take care of my children while I was on the road? And I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, if I could just step on his foot right now, I would. One, it was insulting to even ask me that question. There he sat as a father himself. There he sat as a man who was married to a woman who also worked. But I felt like he was willing to ask me that question. I felt like I was being held back because I was a woman and because I had children. And we know that today we have come a long ways in advancing in how women are treated and those questions that should never be asked in an interview and hopefully will never be asked again. So we realize that at this time that we do have someone, and I do have to give you recognition, Danny, because these women really represent just how far we have come, just how far men now do recognize women and what they have to offer and the achievements that they have accomplished. But not only that, a woman's mind is probably the greatest thing that God ever gifted mankind in the whole world. So we just want to thank everyone for coming out today, and we want to thank you for recognizing these great women. And we just want you to know that we do have some refreshments in the back. And again, before we leave, I want to give you, Amanda, you did a great job, in pulling this all together. And the rest of the staff, too, of the chair's office, I want to make sure that I say that. But thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. You want to